All right, we're going to be continuing our work with trigonometric integrals, ones that are involving sine and cosine. So once again, at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to evaluate an integral that has a sine and a cosine in it. This time we're going to be looking at the powers being even and non-negative. Great, two trig identities that we will make use of are our half angle identities. You'll notice we have one for sine squared and we have one for cosine squared. Gets rid of the squared altogether, and notice they both contain cosine. One has a minus, one has a plus. So let's dig right in. All right, so you'll notice on this integral, if I look at the problem, I have sine squared x times cosine squared x. Both powers are even and non-negative, so that's the guideline we're going to use. So if both of the powers of sine and cosine are even and non-negative, we will make repeated use of the half angle identities and convert to odd powers of the cosine. Then we'll use guideline 2. So we're going to have lots of fun with this one. So what we're going to start out by doing is we're going to change each of those to their half angle identities. So if I look at this, sine squared x from the previous page was equal to 1 minus cosine 2x over 2. And then cosine squared x was equal to 1 plus cosine 2x over 2. All right, the first thing that I'm going to do, since these 2's are just constants, I'm going to pull them out front. They're both on the bottom, and that will make 1/4, just to make my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to have 1 minus cosine 2x, and then 1 plus cosine 2x. All right, we are going to go ahead and FOIL that, so I'll have 1/4 on the outside, and then on the inside, I am going to have 1, the insides and the outsides cancel out, minus cosine squared of 2x. And so now notice what I can do, since there's a minus side here, I can make two separate integrals. So I'm going to have 1/4 the integral of 1 minus 1/4 the integral of cosine squared 2x. Right, on this first one, the integral of 1 is just x, so this one's 1/4 x. All right, there we go. Okay, now the second part is another problem where the cosine power is even and non-negative. So I'm going to use the half angle identity once again. So I've got 1/4 x going on, and then minus 1/4 integral. Cosine of squared 2x is equal to 1 plus cosine 2x, but there's already a 2 there, so it's going to be 1 plus cosine 4x over 2. And then the first thing that I'm going to do is pull that 2 out front. So I'm going to have 1/4 x minus 1/8 integral. I forgot to put that integral sign, goodness. 1 plus cosine 4x. And now once again, since there's a plus sign, I can separate. So I'm going to have 1/4 x minus 1/8 the integral of 1 minus 1/8 the integral of cosine 4x. And fortunately, I am done with powers now, so I can go ahead and take the integral of cosine 4x, but we're going to turn this into cosine u. We'll let u be 4x, du would be 4. I'm missing the 4, so I put a 1/4 on the outside, which makes a 1/32 on the outside. So now I have 1/4 x minus the integral of 1 would be x, so minus 1/8 x, and then minus here, the integral of cosine u will be sine u, so that will be negative 1/32 sine of u, which u was 4x, plus c. And then I could probably put these together. I'm going to make this 2/8. So if I have 2/8 minus 1/8, that's going to give me 1/8 x minus 1/32 sine of 4x plus c. So basically in these ones we're using that half angle identity formula as many times as we need to until we get to something that we can work with.